Welcome back, everybody. It is time once again for that blessed Nova Online weekly breakdown. I hope everybody's been having a fantastic day so far, and I hope you came into this video with your thinking caps on and your fedoras at the ready. Nova Online, he's a specimen we can all get behind throwing tomatoes at and really shouting boo at all of his disgusting antics online. He's a doofus who really makes you shudder in disgust when a new controversy is unearthed, and you realize more and more what a deplorable degenerate he really is. But with this video, I wanted to tackle my confusion on how Tubby Tenders here is losing so much weight at such a rapid pace and also keeping it off. And what I mean by this is today we're going to be going over two videos, coincidentally posted on back-to-back days by this rotund rumbler, and in these videos he's reviewing some pizza places. In one of these TikToks, I'd imagine it's a draft, it seems like it's from his more, plump era, and another one you can see it's much recent because you can see how much thinner he is. Nova recently has lost a bunch of weight. He went from a solid 280 pounds at a 5'9" frame to what looks like from his last weigh-in, and I'll assume now, because he hasn't done it in a little bit, is he's staying around that 200-pound mark, and so with this, you'd imagine that Nova's probably hitting the gym and changing up his eating lifestyle, shaving off those pounds and really doing the right thing. But I don't see this at all. There is no visual proof that he's been at the gym. I've brought this up pretty frequently. If y'all don't remember, Nova used to be semi-active in the gym. He would go and sloppily throw around some weight, with all the wrong forms, of course. And then he would post it to TikTok trying to flex on the trolls. So I'd imagine if he was doing that now, he would be posting it because he's actually showing results. He'd want to flaunt it and gloat about it, but there's no gym content. So I don't imagine it's that. So if he's not in the gym, then I would imagine that he's been changing up his eating lifestyle. A simple change in your diet can be very instrumental to improving your health. But with that notion, absolutely not as well. Nova is still piling down garbage, eating unhealthy foods and drinks. So my question is, how the hell is he losing all of this weight? So with that, let's dive into the first video of Nova's. This one is going to be the draft video of him taking down some mod pizza. And in this video, you'll see he ordered a sugary drink, a personal pizza, and some cheesy bread.
Trying items from my pizza I've never had before, and one of them is this Boylan's Black Cherry. Got a bottle opener. Exclusive property of the Novine universe on TikTok and YouTube. Don't worry, I picked up the bottle cap. But this is really good. It's very natural. Like, most Black Cherry I've had tastes awful, awful. But Circle and Boylan's taste very natural, and they're one of my favorite flavors.
First off, I'd imagine him picking up that bottle cap is performative. We all know Nova doesn't tend to keep a very clean house, so he probably just didn't want to get flamed right there for adding to the garbage heap he creates in his house. Secondly, do you see how damn stiff he is here? Like, Nova, no one is forcing you to make these videos. Quite the opposite, actually. But this might be the best posture I've ever seen from him, sculling down this black cherry beverage. Nova's out here shaped like one of those industrial water towers with his blue shirt on right now. So you can see this is probably one of his draft videos. How long ago this was, I'm not sure of, but from how Nova looks now, obviously in his skinnier era, we can see that this is probably, make a reasonable inference here that this was a previous Nova sighting.
When it's done right. Now, let's try the cheesy garlic bread. Cheese pull is practically non-existent and there's not much flavor. Let's dip it in the marinara sauce and see if that makes it any better. It's a little bit better. And for funsies, let's try a sausage and mushroom Alfredo pizza.
For funsies, he says. Dominating 2,000 calories in one sitting was just casual for Nova then. But as you can see, the food Nova ate represented the weight he was at. I can't imagine he shared this with Mama Novs here. This was likely all for himself, so the shape that Nova was really did show for what he stuffed down his gullet every day. Because this wasn't just a once-in-a-while kind of eating habit for Nova. You have a really bad day, and you have no aspirations to cook a good meal for yourself, so you splurge and eat like a goofball for one night. No, this was nightly for Nova, eating McDonald's, Wendy's, Wingstop. All of that shit was just a day in the life for Nova.
Much better than the garlic bread. This is very, very cheesy from the Alfredo sauce, and it is very garlicky as well. This is a great pizza, and if you're ever at Mod, I suggest trying this out. Overall, stick to pizza, salads, and the no-name cake mod. The cheesy garlic bread gets a 3 out of 10. This pizza gets an 8 out of 10. And this black cherry soda, 10 out of 10. Novine Universe, signing off.
Fantastic. Another lackluster food review from Nova, barely talking, giving some basically non-existent critiques to the food and shoving it all down into the void of his stomach. This is the type of food that Nova eats, and I say eats because, this hasn't changed Nova's eating habits at all. With this next video I want to show y'all from Nova is also him reviewing a pizza place, and I can take a guess and say this isn't a draft because of his appearance, Nova looks slimmer, and I'd imagine this is him in the current day and age, and he goes fucking wild here. Getting mozzarella sticks, Polynesian wings, jalapeno poppers, potato wedges, and 2 personal pan pizzas. Like, holy shit. How much food can you possibly consume in one sitting? Like, this had to be for both you and your mom, right, Nova? Don't sit here and tell me you ate all of this just yourself. That's abominable.
Trying Round Table Pizza for the very first time. Let's start off with the appetizers. Okay, they were supposed to give me ranch with my appetizers, and they never did. Damn it. I'm gonna have to use the ranch from the wings. But let's start with the matzo sticks. Let's get a cheese pull. Yes! Yeah!
Man, I really need to start warning y'all to get your barf bags ready. Maybe it was just me, but that was a touch unsettling watching Nova and that mozzarella stick seem to have a moment together. I didn't know if I should look away or not.
It's not bad. It's actually pretty good. Little heavy on the breading, but the cheese pull, immaculate. Let's get another one. Not as good. Now let's try the jalapeno poppers. Exclusive property of the Novine Universe on TikTok and YouTube. Oh! No. Way too much cream cheese. It needs to have more jalapeno in it. I just got a bomb of cream cheese in my mouth. Not pleasant. Now the Idaho potato wedges.
Anyone keeping a calorie counter on standby? This is what I'm talking about. Nova is putting down so much food here, and it's all fried garbage. I'm sure it tasted fine, like I'm not coming at the fact that they probably tasted bad. I'm just saying in regards to their healthiness, and actually from what Nova's saying, these all seem like they tasted like donkey balls. And of course, we have to trust him here. He really has such a sophisticated palate built by Big Macs and Baconators. Who are we not to trust his opinion on a mozzarella stick? Nova's really pounding down the calories here, one side dish at a time, and we aren't even done yet. So this is where I'm at. I'm just confused. How has Nova lost the weight? Drop your opinions down below in the comments, because I genuinely am curious. This isn't, a diet that you see resulting in a massive drop in weight so fast. So if y'all know, if y'all are speculatory like me, drop your comments down below.
Not bad. It needs to be crunchier, and it definitely needs a sauce. Now let's try out the Polynesian wings. These are the most tender wings I have ever had. And the Polynesian sauce reminds me of a sweet chili sauce. It's really good. And finally, let's try the pizza. And before I try it, $14 for a personal pizza? Are you fucking kidding me? And I got 2 of them.
$14 for this personal pan pizza? That's ridiculous. Fiddlesticks to you, pizza shop owner. You old snake oil salesman, you. So naturally, I got a second one. Duh. That's the kind of intelligence we see from Nova on a daily basis. Weep and whine about the price of something, then immediately buy a second thing of the thing you're whining about. Like, get a grip. You didn't need to get 2 pizzas and all the sides you got, Nova. That's just straight gluttony right there.
That's $28 for 2 pizzas. When I can go down to Domino's and get 2 for less than $15, and they're double the size. All right, this is the King Arthur Supreme. It's actually not bad. The dough is actually really good. It's got a nice thin crust. And look at this, look at this, look at this. I'm gonna take another piece for reference. Literally 0 flop. This is actually a good quality pizza. Is it worth $14 though? Let's find out with the next one. And this one right here is their garlic pizza that I forgot the name of. Once again, no flop, 1 bite, everyone knows the rules.
I dare say this is another instance of Nova being lazy, stealing the old shtick from another content creator because he's too lazy, too uninspired and not creative enough to figure out some kind of personal touch to his own content. Besides, his little watermark of, the property of the Novine universe, and then also Novine universe signing off, like, maybe that's his own personal style. It's just so typical of Nova. It was the same thing when he used the jingle from Deep Pocket Monster, the should I open it or should I keep it sealed? And also that one creator who makes and reviews food, I think he does the Divosia thing when you drink something, he stole that too. Nova is just unable to make his content creative without using other people's ideas. He just simply can't do it.
Exclusive property of the Novine universe on TikTok and YouTube.
This one's really cheesy. Good amount of toppings on it. The green onions give it like a good, give it like a good pizzazz, some good flavor to it. I paid way too much money on those 2 pizzas to make this video. Was it worth it? Hell fucking no! I don't think I'm going back to Round Table again unless I really, really want those Polynesian wings. Novine Universe freaking signing off. Fuck Round Table. Too expensive.
What a boisterous exit right there from the waterbed built goober, yelling and raging about the fact that he spent an unreasonable amount of money on pizza. Like, hey genius, you decided to do that. You spent $30 on 2 pizzas, and then of course all the sides you decided to pile on. That was on you. I just don't understand Nova right now. His weight is a perplexing topic. He still is pounding down disgusting amounts of junk food, but is starting to look slimmer and slimmer every day. I don't know. Drop y'all's comments down below on what you think in regards to Nova's weight loss, how he's doing it. He's not changing his diet, but he sure as hell is looking a lot slimmer. So with that, I'm out of here for today, guys. I appreciate everyone sticking around for another video. We are growing so fast here, guys, and, one day we'll catch a Nova in subs here, I'm sure of it. So until then, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Deuces.